Okay, so we have a new espionage piece hitting Amazon Prime. It is called All the Old Knives, which is it's an interesting one, right? I remember when I first heard about it, I thought, wait, is that the name of the new Knives Out sequel? But no, it's something completely different, people. Okay, so it is directed by Janus Metz Pedersen, and it is written by Olen Steinhauer, who is adapting his own novel, which has the same name and dropped in 2015. Okay, so it is produced by Matt Jackson, um, Steve Schwartz, Nick Weichler, and Paula May Schwartz. It's executive produced by Neil Berger, Kate Churchill, Drew Commons, um, Zev Foreman, Matt Gordon, Richard Hewitt, Joanne Lee, Chris Pine, co-produced by Roger Schwartz. We also got Gail Egan as a producer, actually, and it's co-produced by. Oh yeah, we did that. Line produced by Kelly Sims. The music is from John Ekstrand and Rebecca Karlgaard. Cinematography is Charlotte Bruce Christiansen. It's edited by Mark Eckersley and Pierre Sandholt. Casting was Gina J. Production design, Marcus Rowland. Art direction is Victoria Allwood, Grant Bailey, and Michael E. Goldman. Our cast. Well, people. Well. We have got Chris Pine. He plays Henry Pelham. We got Thandiwe Newton. She plays Celia Harrison. Lawrence Fishburne plays Vic Wallinger. Jonathan Price is Bill Compton. We've got Ahad as Layla. There's Ernest Poll, played by John Joe O'Neill. Owen Lasseter, played by David Dawson. Who else of note is there? I guess we got Celia's kids, right? Evan and Ginny, played by Oscar Coleman and Callie Gale. Her husband Freddie, played by Joshua Lacey. Gala Gordon plays a waitress. Dar Dash plays a bartender. Michael Shafir plays treble. Faton Gerbeshi plays Beslan Adaliyev. Omar Samatar Ali is played by Mo Idris. Taha is played by Karina Weidman. Ilyas Shoshani is played by Orly Shuka. Yeah, I think that's like the main group of people, as it were. Okay, so the gist of the piece is All the Old Knives is a modern day espionage thriller that follows Henry as he investigates Celia, a past flame from their days as CIA intelligence officers in Vienna, who is now under suspicion of having been a double agent, using flashbacks to weave together multiple timelines. All the Old Knives peels back the layers of their past romance and exposes the truth behind a devastating terrorist attack they were unable to stop. Yes, there you go. There you go, people. So if you like your espionage pieces, this could be for you, you know? So we open up, right? With this whole thing in Vienna and the terrorist attack on the plane. So we kind of open up with a little bit of information on that. And then we see it kind of all go to hell. Celia leaves, and we have oh my gosh, we have Henry. Oh, boy, we have Henry chasing after her, and then at that point, it jumps 8 years forward. Right, 8 years forward, and he's talking to Fishburne's character, and they're like, you know, looking to open up the investigation because new evidence has come to light. Right, so it's like, ooh, what could be happening here? Now, I have to say a really good thing about this was because there is some subtitles, right? Because they're talking in I think like there's Arabic and Russian. I feel there was something else, but I forget. But huge subtitles, huge subtitles, which is great. Now, actually, that might just have been the way I set it up. It might just be me. But just the option that they turn up because they don't always. They don't always. So I thought that was great. Now, some stuff not so great, like the 8 years, the little thing that goes 8 years later. That's tiny, you know what I mean? And you just be like, yo, what are you doing, man? But this is a very slick film. It looks fantastic. The cinematography is so great. Like in the restaurant, right? We have the sun setting and just the way they set up the scenes. Oh man, it looks very good. Looks very good. Just all of the other stuff as well. We have some great camera work, you know what I mean? Focusing in on people and just all of that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a slick film. It really is. Um, and it is interesting, right? The acting is great. Really good, solid acting. I do think though, for me, I didn't really feel the chemistry a lot of the times between Cecilia and Henry. Right? I think there was a moment at the end which then you really kind of see, Cecilia's faults, right? And I thought that was, Newton. Yeah, I mean, come on, man, Newton kills it all the time, right? So there was that, which was impressive. But yeah, the real kind of the relationship, that sort of chemistry, yeah, it just didn't really. I don't know, man. I wasn't really feeling it, you know? Wasn't really feeling that. Like the story, I could see what they're doing, right? I could see what they're trying to do with the story. And I do like that sort of onion story, you know what I mean? Where you're just peeling off these layers and new kind of revelations are there. And it's just like, yo, what? Oh, shit. But I kind of could see where this was going, right? I think that's the only problem. You could, yeah, I mean, you could see what was happening, um, and especially like in the end sequence, right? When that all starts to unfold, there was just certain things that happen, right? With the wine and like just all these things, and you'd be like, yeah, that's not happening like that just by you know what I mean? It's just like obviously that there's this thing going on, right? And that was the only, you know, that was a bit of a shame because it's kind of framed like a Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. And Tinker Tailor, I mean, John le Carre. I f- I always say John le Carre. I've heard it pronounced other ways, but fuck other people. It's John le Carre. So you know, what I mean, I'm a huge fan of those books, right? The George Smiley, it's kind of a trilogy, right? He kind of features in a slightly few more, but only in slight references and other things. So I'm gonna say trilogy. Love those books are great, right? And the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy film, ooh, I mean, the TV series was decent. The film was fantastic, fantastic, and that one, man, like everything you felt the intrigue, like the connections, the relation, just all of that really worked so well. And maybe I'm judging this too harshly compared to that, but that's my barometer for this sort of film, you know? And yeah, it didn't quite hit like that. Didn't quite hit like that because I felt in Tinker, you couldn't necessarily see where it was going. And as I said, in this one, you could. Plus, when all is said and done, right? When all is said and done, you look at it and you be like, okay, but if that's the case, why was it not mentioned? Right? Like you couldn't really, I felt you couldn't really see why it would be a secret, right? Why these things are secret and they wouldn't be told. That was the big thing here. Because, you know, we learn some things, which then, if that's the case, then the character knows that's the case, which then means there's no reason not to talk, right? Because, yeah, I mean, I can't really say too much without giving anything away, but yeah, that was a little bit baffling, right? Because you're just like, yo, that it doesn't, it doesn't really make any sense why you wouldn't, you know, be like, yo, this be the deal, right? And that was the one thing that I was just like, I couldn't quite coalesce, you know? I'm just like, oh, I mean, you people are spooks. Like you know the deal. You know your way around these things. You know, that's a bit odd. So yeah, that was a thing. But as I said, look, it's very well put together. It looks great. So if you like spy films, then yeah, you possibly will enjoy it. If you like the book, possibly will enjoy it. Now, because as I said, look, I am going off Le Carre's stuff because that, you know, that's some of my favorite espionage shit, you know. But if you haven't read Le Carre, then yeah, this is gonna hit differently for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would be like, listen, I, I compared to Tinker, it's not there, but not to say it's a bad film, you know. But if you haven't watched Tinker, you don't have the barometer, right? So you can really just throw yourself into this. So yeah, I kind of feel it depends how you're where you're coming from with the film. But yeah, cinematography, the direction, the acting, all very motherfucking solid, right? But yeah, it's on Prime. So that means, it's if you're a member, oh man, you can just dip in and take a look, right? So there you go. All the Old Knives. It's on a Prime Video right now.